Hey everybody, and welcome back to math class. Today we're going to talk about net worth. It's one of the last parts of our money unit. If you've ever heard how much somebody is worth, what they're referencing is their net worth. So nobody actually, well, I'm not going to say nobody. Usually when you hear how much somebody was worth, that's not money they have in the bank. So let's talk about what that does mean. There are two kinds of things that you have when you have stuff. There are things that you own. Those are called assets. An asset is something that you have paid off. It is yours. You don't owe any money. So it's what you own. You cannot owe. So usually when you go buy a car, you owe money on that car. So it is not an asset. Once you've paid off the car and you've paid for the car in full, or if you're ever well off enough to just go pay cash for a car, then it's an asset. Um, these pens that I have, they're an asset. I paid for them with money that I had in the bank. Um, the clothes I wear, those are assets. The jewelry that I own are assets because they're all paid off. So an asset is something that you have paid off and you do not owe anything. The other thing you might have are called liabilities. A liability is things that you still owe money on. These are your debts. You owe money. So usually if you go buy a car and you finance or you borrow money to pay for that car is technically a liability until you pay off that car, and then it becomes an asset. If you put anything on a credit card, it's a liability because you still have to pay for that thing. So when you hear about billionaires who are worth billions of dollars, a lot of that money is going to be in real estate. It might be in cars. It might be in investments. It might be the business that they own. So, um, Jeff Bezos, the Amazon guy, he's worth billions of dollars, but he doesn't have $1 billion in the bank. Amazon is worth $1 billion, and Jeff Bezos is like the owner of Amazon. So if he sold Amazon, he would have billions of dollars. But right now in the bank, I don't know how much he has. Nobody does except for him and his accountant. Um, so the way we figure out how much somebody is worth, it's called net worth. And net worth is when you take all the stuff you own and you subtract all of the debts or liabilities. And that's how you find net worth. So if you took everything that you owned and you sold it and you paid off all of your debts, whatever money is left over, that is your net worth. So to figure out net worth, you do assets minus liabilities. This is everything you own minus everything you owe, and whatever is left over is called net worth. So if you have a positive net worth, you have more money than you owe people. So we find the sum of the assets minus the sum of the liabilities. And that's how you find net worth. If you, okay, one more thing. We already talked about it, but just in case, to be very specific, if liabilities, let's do positive first. If assets are greater than liabilities, this is a positive net worth. If liabilities is greater than assets, which means you owe more money than you have, that means you have a negative net worth. Now, assets and liabilities. Here are some examples. Assets. The key to knowing if it's an asset is when it says that it's paid off. So an asset can be the value of your house, or if your house is paid off, your car, if it's paid off, furniture, if it's paid off, again, paid off, you can't owe money, and then savings, money in the bank. If you have cash, that cash is an asset. Okay? So these are examples of assets. Another thing that works with assets is if you invest money in something and that thing is gaining value. So like when you buy a house, that house may go up in value. So you could turn around and sell the house for more than what you owe on it. So your house value can be an asset. Liabilities are things like, you're going to see words that say mortgage. Liabilities. Mortgage. Mortgage is your house payment. So mortgage is a house payment. Your car payment is a liability, or how much you owe on your car. Student loans. Student loans. Any kind of loan. A house loan, a car loan. They are not recommended. But if you have a payday loan, just say no. Credit cards. Again, be responsible with your credit cards because they take a long time to pay off if you don't have a good plan. So you're going to take all your assets, add them up, take all the liabilities and add them up, and it's always assets minus liabilities. These are positives. These are negatives. Okay? All right. The hardest part here is figuring out if something's an asset or a liability. So if you get stuck, let me know. Later.